Okay, in this last video, I'm just going to go over the last two word problems in this review package. So we're going to start on question 16. My last video finished on question 15, so we're just moving on. Okay, Clarence's quandary. Clarence works at a veterinarian's office. He needs to give a dose of medicine to a 24-kilogram dog. 24-kilogram dog. The recommended dosage for a dog that weighs 10 kilograms is 25 milliliters. Determine the dose that Clarence should give to the 24-kilogram dog if the rate remains the same. Show your work. Okay, so we're going to show our work. So we're going to start by setting up a proportion. And in order to make sure that I don't mix up the positions in the proportion statement, I'm going to decide on a format now. So I'm going to decide that I'm going to do dosage on the top of my ratios or rates. And then I'm going to do the weight of the dog on the bottom of my ratios. So dosage over weight. And this will help me make sure I don't make any mistakes. So I know that the correct ratio is a 25 milliliter dose for a 10 kilogram dog. Okay. But I want to know what dosage to give a 24 kilogram dog. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let the dosage be represented by x. And I'm going to solve for x. So in order to solve for x, I have to multiply both sides of my equation by 24 kilograms. And the reason I do that is because that cancels out the 24 that x is being divided by. And that allows me to isolate x. So x is going to be 24 kilograms times 25 milliliters divided by 10 kilograms. And after I put those numbers into my calculator, 24 times 25 divided by 10, I'm going to get an answer of 60 milliliters. Okay, now because this is a word problem, I need to finish with the concluding statement. So therefore, Clarence should give the 24 kilogram dog a dosage of 60 milliliters. Okay, and that's it. Pretty simple problem for question 16. So let's move on to our last question. Fill her up. The table below shows the cost of water for 3 customers. They each pay the same cost per liter. Frank pays $36.12 for water at the same rate. Determine the number of the number of liters of water that he purchases. Okay, so we know that he pays for water at the same rate. So first of all, we need to know what is the rate that's being paid here. Remember, whenever you're trying to find the unit rate, it's cost over amount. Money is always on the top of your ratio. So why don't we do 3 quick calculations? We're told that the rate is the same for each of those, right? It says here each pay the same cost per liter. So let's just make sure that's true. So if we do $8.60 and we divide that by 10,000 liters, we're going to get a unit price of 0.00086. Okay. Now let's test this. Let's make sure that what they said is true. So they're saying that it's the same cost per liter. Let's just check that. So $17.20 for 20,000 liters. And let's just see what the unit price there. Oh, and I forgot. It's dollars per liter. Okay, so 17.2 divided by 20,000. And yeah, we do get the same price per liter. So again, we get $0.00086 per liter. And finally, we can just triple check, right? We can do the same thing, even though I already know it's going to be the same, but 25.80 for 30,000 liters. And we should get the exact same number. So 25.8 divided by 30,000, and we do. We get the same cost per liter. Okay, so let's look at how we formatted these 3 calculations, right? Notice how we had cost over amount of water in liters, and cost was in dollars, right? So we had cost over amount of liters, and that was equal in all cases to $0.00086 per liter, right? In each of those cases, we have the cost divided by the amount of water in liters. So moving on to what the question is actually asking us, it says Frank pays $36.12 for water at the same rate. So that means that Frank's water also cost $0.00086 per liter. We need to determine the number of liters of water that he purchases. So we know the cost. Oops. Right? We know the cost that Frank pays. We know that. We know the rate, but we don't know the amount of water, right? So what we can do is we can set up a ratio. We can set up a proportion, okay? So that's what I'm going to do. So I know the cost is $36.12, and I don't know how many liters. So that's where I put my variable x. That's what I want to try to solve. And I know that this is equal to $0.00086 per 1 liter, right? Per 1 liter. So what I need to do is I need to solve for x. Now there's a few ways we could do this. We could cross multiply. Cross multiplying is where we bring our items that are below the fraction ratio and we bring them across the equal sign, right? So our next line would look like 1 liter times 36.12 is equal to x times 0.00086. And then once we're here, once we no longer have x on the bottom of a fraction, now we can divide both sides by 0.00086. Divide both sides. And we do this because that cancels out the number there, and it leaves us with our variable, our x, all alone. So x is going to be equal to 1 times $36.12 divided by 0.00086. Okay, so all we have to do is do that calculation. And we are going to get an answer. Our x is going to be equal to 42,000 liters. And that is our final answer. So again, this is a word problem, so we need a concluding statement. So therefore, Frank purchased 42,000 liters of water. Okay, and that is it. That's the end of the review package.